We trust the lamb, not the donkey or the elephant.
I agree with what you're saying. I can also imagine someone pushing back and saying, hey, Trevin, I like doctrine too. But it must be nice up there in your ivory tower where you get to think about ideas, because there are some real urgent issues that we're facing. We're facing issues like abuse. We're facing issues like political syncretism. And in the church is what I mean. We're facing abuse in the church. We're facing political syncretism in the church. And so if I feel a sense of urgency, or what I have just called, I should say, recency bias, there's a reason for it. And so, I want to talk about doctrine, but surely we need to start here. I mean, what do you say to that?
I don't want to lessen that sense of urgency. In fact, I think orthodoxy could actually help feed a sense of urgency there. What I'm talking about is not a lessening of urgency on tackling some of those issues. It's more of a sense of perspective so that we tackle them in the right way, in the way that's going to lead to a healthier church in the future. One of the things I've been saying for the last couple of years is that what tends to happen when you recognize that there's a lot of what's wrong in the church, you can call it the rot. If you go into a house like after a flood or something and you find rot in particular rooms or whatnot, you can't ignore that. You can't shield your eyes from that. In fact, one of the things that you have because of church history and the church around the world is you actually have perspective on where things have rotted and need to be addressed. But one of the tendencies of those who are typically more conservative is they'll minimize or defend even the rot in order to want to preserve the reputation of the institution and not want to harm the house in any way. Like the idea of getting in there and getting the rot out looks like it could harm the structure of the house. So we just we downplay the importance of it. One of the challenges or the tendencies of those who are more on the progressive side of things is to see the rot and then to just want to throw your hands up, walk outside the house, and then blow up the whole thing and try to start over. Where you almost blow up the load-bearing walls, the foundational pillars, the foundations of the house to begin with. And one of the things that I think we've got to do if we're going to do well in our generation is we've got to be able to simultaneously remove the rot and fortify the foundations. To avoid both of those tendencies that would lead us astray. The problem is you won't recognize the difference between the rot and what's load-bearing or what the foundations are unless you have the church throughout history and the church around the world. So far be it from me to say that I'm up in an ivory tower and we should just lessen the urgency on reforming the church and renewing the church. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying in order to do that well, we need the kind of perspective that comes from church history and the church around the world so that we're able to do that in a way that's actually going to lead to reformation and renewal in the years to come.
I'm Patrick. Thanks for watching this video. If you're passionate about ending tribalism in the church and giving Jesus your allegiance, you're not alone. We have a podcast and a book. They're both called Truth Over Tribe. You can download the podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You can buy the book on Amazon. I hope you'll check them out.